Chapter 3. The Three Vehicles. I think I was free. Walking through the woods, I was still completely trapped in this world, but it felt as if my soul was given another chance. They blamed the murder on a man, but I'm not entirely a woman either, and all that mattered was how my spirit was alive because of this preacher. Now he was aware of a power beyond this world, and was Bianca in on it too. Someone had caused a miracle, but how come no one knew who? We walked far away from the crowd, into the woods, and so I followed the two cats while the rest of the group stayed nearby. "You've got some explaining to do, sissy," said Bianca. "You're the only native earthling here. Do you want to tell us what's going on?" I suppose this was a good time to explain my story, and how I escaped from the order and found the pyramid. But what else was there to tell them? Should I clarify that I'm really just a gardener and only dressed up like a whore? So I'm really not that special. And as for the fire, well, I don't have a clue how it started, I spoke aloud. All I could think of was the moment the soldier asked if I killed the king. Then he raised his gun. I remember Bianca touching my arm as the preacher's head glowed brighter than the sun. Then the monkey threw that banana, when it felt like an electric blanket was tossed over my head. Was it some sort of protective shield? But what does it matter? At least I'm not dead. And what about that preacher? Technically, he wasn't lying. Why, just a moment ago I thought I was dead. But look, now I'm not dying. "Anything else?" yelled Bianca. "My dad had a bullet hole through his head. Did a Mowgli kill him?" Bianca was married to her father, who was the king that I killed, and now the whole group was waiting for me. "Okay, look. Somewhere, someone long ago told me that the truth will set you free, and so—" "It wasn't a Mowgli who killed him," I spoke aloud. "I killed the king." The preacher's eyes opened wide. His face was shocked I told the truth. And now he waited for the inevitable bitch fight that was about to take place. I'd just displaced these 7 strippers from their high-paying jobs, and Bianca was quite close to the king. But why would she marry her own father? She despised him. And I guess that's how she got the crown. "Oh, shut up, Jane. It's terrible enough that he's dead, but just tell me the truth. Was it a Mowgli?" asked Bianca. "I already told you. I did it. I killed him. And I'm really sorry that I didn't say anything earlier, but I didn't think you'd ever understand." I studied her face, but nothing changed. These women are experts at revealing emotions in subtle ways, but she seemed certain I hadn't done it. And what about that fire? Wait, isn't anyone concerned about that miraculous monkey? Why did it throw the banana? "Jane, stop being so dramatic. It's fine if a Mowgli did it. Just blink once and I'll know it was him," said Bianca. I was still in shock. Pretty stoned, too, and so it took a good while, but eventually I blinked. "See, I knew it, and it's all fine as long as he apologizes. Now where is a Mowgli?" The last thing I remember inside the pyramid was getting a text from the preacher. He said a Mowgli was alive. "Jane, that's incredible. He's back," said Bianca. She hugged me, squeezing her head against my chest while my tits pressed against her face when she started purring as if she was a cat. Oh, I remember that noise. She'd purr after we had sex in the middle of the night. She'd always come home crying after a fight with the king to snuggle with me. We'd whisper about our dreams, but she was always wondering about my brother. She insisted that she was going to marry him, that she and a Mowgli were secret lovers. And what about that miracle? What the heck happened? Am I seeing things, or was that a monkey wearing a plaid blanket? The black cat kept a close eye on us as it led us deeper into the woods. And even though the group was following me, I was never quite leading. All I did was follow the black cat onward as it took off towards the sound of a creek. Nobody's going to say anything. Does anyone else want to speak up? No one said a word. Great. It's just perfect timing for silence because we just witnessed the world's largest fire and then a miracle saved my life. Did anyone see that? "Jane, it's fine. It's all fine," said Bianca. "It's better off that my dad is dead. I never liked having a husband, and everyone knew it wasn't a king who got us here." I looked at the preacher. What the hell is she talking about? "We never told you the exact history." The preacher paused. "The truth was a bit buried up till now. But there are a special few who remember, and well, it's not so complicated," interrupted Bianca. "The king was a puppet, just like his generals. It's all because of the 7 sisters that our pyramid arrived here." She pointed to the 7 girls behind us. "What about him?" "All 7 of them were less than impressed by me. Obvious frowns furrowed toward me as their eyes gazed into mine. I suppose we were never that close, ever since the king became obsessed with me. And did I mention all you girls look gorgeous? Their eyeliner had spread into black streaks, highlighting the tears that had since dried. Dirt was pressed onto their chests, hips, and knees, while all 7 whores looked like a disaster from a terrible morning after. We're going to get all those tears cleaned right off. There's a creek up this way. I can hear it. I've got the ears of an armadillo. And did I mention this bag of drugs includes a few fun snacks? I held up the bag of quality drugs when all the girls' frowns turned into smiles rather quickly. But why was I always so tense in their presence? None of our relationships were good, but how come I never had any luck making girlfriends? I guess that's what happens when you have a dick and a pair of tits. I don't think you understand, said Bianca. See, that's it. I don't have a clue. I don't understand any of this. So can someone tell me what the hell is going on? These are the 7 sacred sisters. You know, the 7 stars, said Bianca. Stars, of course. I'm sure they were all great performers. And I've seen most of them dance for the king's men. They're all superstars. I can't even go upside down on a pole yet. And, oh, Jane, the lap dances are an illusion. You've got it all wrong, said Bianca, pulling my arm until I stopped. You think those men were in charge. They weren't controlling us. We were in control of them. Now Bianca went to stand beside the 7 girls. They're the reason we found Earth. These girls are the reason the pyramid arrived here, said Bianca. How? The king called them his prostitutes, but they are enchanters in disguise. These women aren't whores. They're oracles, energy-sucking vampires, sanctified mystics, palm readers, soothsayers, wise witches, sacred psychics. We consummate imperfect energy and transmute it into something worthwhile. I trained these women to become wonderful channels, and I did it all on my own, said Bianca. Oh, shut up, bitch, said the tan sister. You're welcome, my love, said Bianca. All the men in power are ploys. All they care about is their money, drugs, and getting their dick wet. So while they were busy messing around and being selfish, I handpicked the best 7 sorceresses I could find. These women are like leeches, and they've been sucking the soul out of the most powerful men for years. You, gross. Energy is energy, Jane, and once we harness what's required, we'll cultivate the vitality of life and transform the energy into spells to save this place, said Bianca. Spells. Is that how the monkey threw the banana? You summoned a spell. A spell is just a sincere prayer to the divine. I asked for a miracle, but it wasn't I who told that monkey what to do, said Bianca. Then how? It defied the laws of nature. Why else would a monkey aim his lunch at that soldier? That banana saved my life. It was silent while Bianca smiled. Does she know about the 3 vehicles? Bianca asked the preacher. He shook his head no. She knows some truth, but I don't believe she's had any formal teaching yet. Whatever drugs I took inside the pyramid were really affecting my mind. Sometimes I'd get glimpses of clarity, but today my brain was so clouded because I couldn't follow anything they were saying. Bianca was talking about vehicles, but vehicles of what? They don't teach this on Earth, asked Bianca. Teach what? I was fuming now. These 7 girls giggled and pointed at me. It was all fun and games for them, as if I belonged in a madhouse, but I'm certain I was the only sane person here. It's simple. We've all got a mind inside this body, and then there's the spirit of our soul. These make up the 3 key vehicles in which the universe exists, said Bianca. She bent down, took hold of a stick, and drew 3 concentric circles. First she drew a dot in the middle, then a circle was drawn around that dot, and then the largest circle encompassed the other 2. First there's the inner vehicle. That's your mind inside your body, said Bianca, pointing at the smallest dot in the center. Every living thing has an inner vehicle, since we've all got the form that we live in. See, she's living in hers, he's living in a preacher's body, and you're living in... She paused. Well, Jane, you were given a special body, weren't you? And all of our inner realities generate energy. That's what we're put on the planets to do. We sense stuff, explore places, and we experience this energy in the peaks and valleys throughout each day. Some days you're high, other days you're low, but every day is a constant shifting of energy. Us girls, these 7 sisters especially, well, we're in the business of nurturing energy and using it as we wish, said Bianca. Business. You're in the business of casting spells on people. I'd call you a witch. We're more elusive than that. Witches get caught, so we choose to be secretive. Not a soul knows what we're capable of. All witches think they're bad bitches, but they lose their power the moment they desire to be known. Only a hag would be dumb enough to think she's the center of the world. A bitch like that thinks she's doing it, that she's responsible for the unexplainable phenomena. But a sorceress knows that the magic is of the spirit. They transcend the ego to see the true self, said Bianca. The true self? That's where the outer vehicle comes in. We've all got an inner vehicle. That's the body each of us live in with our 5 senses, and a true sorceress controls her mind. Yes, we've all got a mind in the body, but all minds are connected to the universal mind. This collective mind is connected to it all. Don't you see it, Jane? It's all mental. Look at the land, all these plants, animals, and people. These bodies hold the inner realities that connect us to everything that holds life together. When you add it all up, all forms in existence connect through time and space to create the essence of all energy. That's our spirit. And that spirit is the totality of the cosmic mind, said Bianca. Holy shit, she was a witch. Have you ever wondered about prophecy, Jane? Bianca paused. Anyone on Earth can tap into the cosmic mind. Now it takes a bit of work and taming of the inner vehicle. But if they manage to do it, they can look backwards to the Akashic records, or even peek ahead to see what's coming. Religious books of all sorts go wild about these predictions. Oh, humans created all kinds of strange doctrines, thinking they're the chosen ones just because they got a glimpse of the future. But don't you see it, Jane? God didn't choose anyone to be his chosen people because we are all chosen. It's all one. It's all connected together. She was rambling about something, but the threads of my mental capacity were holding on for dear life as she continued. Come on, Jane, hang in there. This is deep shit. Our bodies are like sophisticated instruments. And the moment we're out of tune, we fall out of sync with the universal cosmic mind. We're like tiny ants when we zoom out, and yet some idiots on this planet keep killing in the name of religion. Conquering crusades have aims to convert all the earth and murder those who get in their way, even while their own doctrine states, "You shall not kill." The energy of the spirit is so powerful that it can make people go crazy if they're not careful. The spirit of our cosmic mind is all-powerful, and once you tap into it, you access the power of the universe. But you have to remember that you are not the power, but rather the power is in all of us, said Bianca. I was trying to smile, but the paranoia was making me puzzled. Think of it like an ocean, and your inner vehicle is the captain of a boat. That's your body's vehicle, or the thing you get to operate however you'd like. And so the universal mind is the sea you're traveling through. Then the third vehicle is the wave of energy that makes it all move. Invisible in nature, it is the current, the tides, the wind, and the air. Even the energy in our own body is invisible, and that's why we call it the secret vehicle. Together, these 3 vehicles are the way in which the whole universe is connected, said Bianca. Okay, I paused. The damn cannabis I smoked wasn't helping me remember any of it, and so I continued with more questions. So you've all got secret powers, I get it. But if you're so special, then why can't you set the world back to normal? And if you have so much control over all these men, then how come you never stopped the king before? Ah, that's what the third vehicle is about. The third vehicle is how the energy moves. It's the secret of the spirit. Yes, you said something about 3. I heard the black cat meow when Bianca grabbed me and began staring deep into my eyes. They call the third vehicle Tantra, said Bianca. Do you remember the last time we made love? The way you were gazing in my eyes? That connection is part of Tantra because it's the way all energy is transferred. This invisible energy is hidden throughout humanity. It's the source of inspiration, of creation, of art even, and all these invisible wavelengths make up the same brilliance that genius minds tap into when they create something great. How can humans really take credit for anything when we owe credit to the energy of our spirit? This tantric energy is in the kiss we shared, and it's the secret behind life's silly game. Tantra is the secret vehicle because it's mysterious like a candle's flame, said Bianca. Which drugs was she on again? Whatever it was, they were making her look like a mad witch. And what about these 7 girls again? They're tantric sorceresses. These 7 girls are light workers. They're shadow seekers, and they've got every man's attention tied to them like a chain ready to reel them in at any moment. Once we get our targets in striking distance, we play their game. We flirt and giggle before we pull them in deeper. Next thing you know, we've taken control of their minds, holding them hostage while they fantasize about us. By capturing their desires, they dream of us all night and think of us all day. Slowly but surely, they give us everything, and all we have to do in return is let them pay for our meals, drink their wine, eat their food, and they even share their best drugs. We put all those men under a spell," said Bianca. "Holy shit, you are an evil bitch. If anything, I prefer evolving witch, but it's more like occult than anything," said Bianca. "No, you are just a freeloader getting drunk on good wine. You are not special. Any pretty girl can do that." "Not quite. These girls are experts at transmuting energy. They can make a man excited, tease him until his pants bulge, and then they plant a seed in the man's mind which these sorceresses slowly grow. I taught them how to navigate the maze of the mind. That's how they tap into the outer vehicle, which is the connection of all mental space. The masculine rules over the inner vehicles of the physical world and all the bodies along the earth. But the feminine, we rule the outer vehicle that consists of the entire mental realm and spirit. The masculine and feminine are the perfect balance to hold the universe in order." "Are you talking about mind control? Are you in on this too?" The preacher shrugged. "Well, you learn something new every day. I honestly didn't think Burns III was all that smart. Hard to imagine he did it all on his own," said the preacher. "And we've got to find that special someone who lit the pyramid on fire before the generals do. That's the energy I want to taste. That's the mind I want to penetrate," said Bianca. "And you better share the culprit too," said the dark sister. The black cat lifted its head up from the stream to gaze into my eyes. "But the monkey's miracle? How?" "That's the Tantra. That's the way the invisible energy is transferred. Think about it. Even that monkey is connected to the cosmic mind. It's of the spirit. And since all creatures are in control of one inner vehicle, the outer vehicle connects back to all minds. Of course, we think our mind is our own. All we can choose is how to use the lesser vehicle. But the thoughts, on the other hand, well, they're not technically ours, more like guidelines. Now, I don't know why the monkey threw the banana, but the universe sure wanted him to, and I bet you're glad he did," said Bianca. "So who did it?" "Us. It was all of us. It's all God's work," said Bianca. "That's impossible. I didn't do a thing. I was about to die." "That's it. Your body's energy was peaking. Your mind was using fear to spike up energy through the cosmic roof, which of course is invisible to the eye. But all those emotions you felt raised your awareness when the soldier pressed the gun against your head. That energy sent the consciousness to a higher plane. You were up against death, at the end of it all, and even your soul was preparing to face the other side. The spirit is perfect at predicting its own end, and so the cosmic mind chose to intervene," said Bianca. "But I felt you. I felt goosebumps glowing through my skin when you touched me. All I did was offer up a prayer. I have my vehicle and you have yours, but both of our energy came together in that moment. My energy was something like sadness and despair. I was in a low place after seeing my father with a bullet hole through his head. And when I touched your arm, I knew I wasn't going to lose you too. My soul was begging for an alternative. I screamed from the inside out, and together our energy was so potent that the spirit must have heard us," said Bianca. It was quiet and still for a moment. "But who is the spirit?" "Angels, demons, spirit guides, call it whatever you like. It's the invisible messengers that keep the cosmic order. But when you zoom out far enough, it's all one," said Bianca. "I don't understand. Where is the energy? How does it move?" "It's everywhere and in everything. That's the Great Spirit. Come on, Jane, wake up. The Spirit is living in everything. It's in the nuts and berries we eat. It's scattered through the trees of this forest. And it's within the animals too. Because we're all separate aspects of the outer vehicle. We're just different manifestations of energy that carries the spirit of our soul." "These drugs. Holy shit, I need water." I bent down beside the stream and started bringing mouthfuls between my lips. "Don't you get it?" Bianca paused. "Jane, you can be a sorceress too." "Bianca, you're starting to drive me crazy. I care about you, and I have love for you, but I'm not in love with you." "Oh, bless your heart," said Bianca. "Did anyone see how that soldier was about to kill me? And I'm still a little unclear on the miracle because... And you're alive, my dear." She fell to her knees and grabbed my face. I pushed her away. "Will someone tell me what's happening?" I was losing it. "Rest," said the preacher. "You need rest. Now, do you know of a place we can go?" I'd walked these woods many times. There were plenty of nights I escaped from the order to spend my nights alone, but when I looked up, all I could focus on was the black cat. It started dashing away, and something told me to follow it. "This way,"